What is going on, everybody? My name is LANK, and today I'm going to be walking you through some OBS webcam settings. I don't normally make videos like this, but I feel I've had the knowledge and I've tinkered with the settings so much that I feel I could impart some knowledge onto you guys and maybe help some of you out. That being said, I'm nowhere near an expert. I just want to share some of the knowledge that I have, so if I get things wrong, correct me, but correct me politely in the comments, please. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to come down to your webcam. I have it in a little folder with all the logos and stuff like that. You can either right click and go to properties on your webcam, or you can double click. Now this will bring up your properties. Right now I use a Logitech Brio. It's a very, very good webcam. I highly recommend it if you're not going to get a DSLR camera, but you want a little bit more quality from some of these other webcams that are on the market. It's not too much more expensive than these other ones, but I highly recommend it for its crisp quality. Now you're going to click on configure video. Now this will bring up this box right here. And what you're going to do is you're going to come over to camera control. The first thing I normally do when I open this up is, for whatever reason, it always resets some of these settings. For instance, if we come down to exposure, it always auto check marks it. I don't know if it's for everyone or just me, but what I normally do is I come unclick it, and just to reset it, I go from -5 to -6. Now, all these settings will vary on your webcam and your lighting situation. With that being done, I move over to video proc amp, and I come back down all the way down to gain. And again, these settings are highly dependent on your webcam, your light, etc. So to reset the gain, again, I just click it just to reset it, and as you can tell, it makes a big difference already out the gate. Now that is normally what I do, but let's talk a bit more about these other settings. Brightness is exactly what it says. What I like to do when I play with these settings, I have mine at 116 brightness, but what I like to do is adjust it accordingly and see what happens when I go all the way down and all the way up. As you can see, it changes it drastically. So I have found the optimal spot for my lighting situation and my webcam at 116. Contrast, same thing. I lower it all the way down and I raise it all the way up, and you can see what it does. So I have mine at somewhere around the 90s. I totally just forgot what I had it at. But as you can see, this is actually a nice spot for my webcam. Again, my light. I have two 10-inch ring lights that I found on Amazon for $30. Highly recommend those as well because they're a good price and they're a great buy for starting or beginning streamers, recording videos, etc. Saturation. Now, saturation is going to do the color in your video. So if you do it too saturated, you're going to look like Satan. And then too dark, and it's going to look almost like an old 50s movie. Too down. So you're going to find the right balance, and I just totally forgot what mine was. We're going to find the right balance for mine. As you can see, I got a lot of red in the background, but if you look around, I think that is a nice spot right there. Maybe a little bit lower at 116. Sharpness is going to tell you how blurry or how sharp it is. So if you go all the way at the bottom, it's blurry. If you come all the way to the top, it's really grainy, really sharp. You see a lot of dots and things going on. You see more of my freckles, stuff like that. So you're going to want to find a balance. So if you come, you see how blurry it is there. It's too sharp right here. So you come, this is what I do. This is what I normally do. You find that sweet spot where it's not blurry, but it's not super grainy. And that is the spot that you want. White balance, super important. You're either going to look like a blue man group, or it's going to be too yellowy red, almost the same thing as saturation. So you're going to want to find the optimal spot. I have found, remember the setting this time, around 5880 is perfect for me. Again, different webcams, different lighting situations, find your sweet spot. For gain is super important, because if you notice, I don't want to point this out because once you see it, you can't unsee it. But if you look at my wall, you see kind of like little pixels everywhere. If you really focus in on it, you see them kind of moving around potentially on the screen. If you raise the brightness too much, obviously your face gets, if you raise the gain too much, obviously your face gets super bright and you can't really see features on it. But the pixels and the moving things in the background are very pronounced. So the lower the gain, the better. Sometimes you don't have a choice. You have to raise up the gain. But I have found with my nice lighting, at bright lights, right around 27, perfect. The lights in the background still shine, but there's no too much pixelation, and my face is very visible. All the features you can see. Now, I skipped exposure earlier because I wanted to get those settings out of the way, but exposure is very important. For instance, if I raise exposure up, actually, let me show you. This is normally where I have it. Look at the hand movements. Look what I can do. Easy, right? You guys can see it. It's well defined. You see everything I do. If I raise the exposure up a little higher, everything gets wishy-washy. Even at -4, it's still like a little bit, you know, too fast of a motion. But if you put it down to 5, again, this depends on your lighting situation, because without these lights, I could not lower it to this level and it still looks so nice, because those lights provide nice exposure, etc. So find a sweet spot for yourself. Make sure this exposure and gain go hand in hand. Super important to mess with those. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a thumbs up if you learned anything new or I helped you anyway. Leave a comment if you want to know anything else about my setup or how I stream or record my video. I'll see you guys next time.